Alright, y'all, we're gonna test out the SKLZ speed gates today on the 40-yard dash. Here, we're going to do this in spikes. I'm gonna warm up on the track just because there's a natural grass field. I'm gonna run it on the field, probably 2 on the field and then 2 on the track. We'll see if there's a little bit of a difference on it or not. But we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna spend a lot of time warming up. It's been like 6 months since I've done any sprinting at all. So the times today are gonna be very slow, very slow. So that's what I expect of it. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get warmed up. You know, wear my Discipline TCU shirt where I worked there as an intern for a while. So stay tuned, we're gonna get warmed up. All right, now that we're warmed up, just kind of a little dynamic, pulling ourselves through range of motion. Got the quads, the hip flexors, got the hamstrings, the adductors, the glutes, piriformis, all that. Kind of got the low back in there too. We're about to start doing some priming drills. We're gonna go out there, we're gonna start priming from the bottom up. So our feet and our calves, pogo, stuff like that. And we're gonna work our way up with our drill work. And then we're probably gonna hit a sprint or 2 at the end. And then we're actually gonna transition. I brought a tape measure out here. We're gonna do some broad jumps since we're doing testing as well. And I'll show you my broad jump as well. So let's get going on our sprint drills. All right, now we're warmed up. Start some anklings and going up into like A skip and B skip series and finish off single leg cycling. We're gonna set up this for probably a 10-yard acceleration, work out some bugs and how we want to get this timer to be set up, and just kind of see some basic times, maybe tweak how I want to be in my stance a little bit before I do a little bit of jumps and then go on and sprint on the field first. Okay, so we'll get right to that. On this first one, let me see, it says 148. We have these set up at 30. Right now I got pulled a little bit, but I already set them up before then. So I decided to take these off, right? And then use this marker right here, these yellow markers. And I decided to lay them flat and put them a little bit behind, kind of get set up on my stance, yada, yada, yada. That way, you know, when I do go, you know, my leg swings forward sooner than it would be if I put it forward, right? Now, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put them a little bit in front on these to see if that makes any big difference. I had 148 the first time for 10, which is pretty good. NFL Combine, you're looking at 155, 158 in the first 10 with most skill players. So we're going to change it up a little bit and we're going to find out how we like it and we're going to see where that goes. All right, decided to do 2 runs on it actually. And I improved to a 144 on this on the second attempt, going through the same setup we had. I don't know how accurate that is. I mean, in terms of the NFL Combine, that tell you all this stuff anyway, but realistically, the NFL Combine is hand start, laser finish. And if you know anything, people are like, oh, I ran a laser time with this. It's gonna be slightly more accurate than a full hand time, but most of the time, the error is in the start because of human reaction time. So, there's a little bit of difference, and for this, it's probably close to maybe the same accuracy as the hand start laser finish, or maybe even more accurate. I don't know. I'd have to test that out. But, you know, if you don't believe me on that, you can look up Eric Stokes when Brandon Marshall on all of them had their little combine during COVID. Zybex came and they had the fully automated when he picked the hand up, the laser's touch, and then finish was like a 4.38, and then his hand start laser finish was 4.25. So, is the NFL Combine accurate or precise? You know, they're precise or they're accurate. They're accurate because, you know, all their groupings are close together. They have a consistent test. They're not precise because they're not technically hitting them. We're going to set it differently. All right, this time, more of what I actually expected. I don't know if I triggered it early or what, but I took them, put them on their cones, and scooted them back in the hollow space when I get, so I put my hand up, you know, in that space in between where your legs aren't moving. 183. So you're looking at 0.4, almost a half a second discrepancy. Did I trigger it early? There is a very large possibility that I triggered it early. Because that run felt very similar to the last two. So maybe triggering it early a little bit. So what we're gonna do, because it's much trickier to kind of like get around and make sure you're maintaining the hollow space, pulling the hand up in your pocket. Very awkward. So what we might do is actually put them just a little bit ahead, right? And see and offset them just a little bit. See if that makes any time. But so far, I'm thinking that putting them on the ground right there is the best option. I mean, swapping through, my hand's coming through and hitting it. So that's what it is. Because even though I haven't sprinted in like 6 months, my best fully automatic laser time was a 1.53. That's, you know, when I picked the thumb up, like when the thumb came off our button, you know, it started it. So it's either I've lost an incredible amount or I triggered it early. We'll try to figure out what it is. All right, so tried this a couple different ways down there. I'm thinking 184. It's been a while. That's the closest as I can get to like a fully automatic system. So I'm thinking 1.8 is the 10 for right now. So I'm gonna take it at that. It's not great at all, but like I said, I haven't sprinted in months. So we're gonna take it. We're gonna do our jumps real quick. We're gonna see how far we land on our jumps. Then we're gonna do 240s over here and 240s over here. Stay tuned. All right, got this set up, pulled pretty tight as it can go. It's still accurate. It still measures out to where these are on the field, the very front lines. 9, 12 is at the very front. Let's take mark 15th at the very front because I measured it at the front down there. We're gonna do 3 jumps and then go to our 40. This isn't the best natural grass, but it is February, so kind of at its wit's end. So let's jump this, see what we're working with here. A 9.8, right? Toes at 10.11. My PR on this is 10.8. So, about right here, a whole foot. That's one thing about the broad jump. It's a good predictor of explosiveness. Yeah, it's got a little bit of technique to it. It does, but it's really about being explosive. And if you're hitting under 10 foot, you gotta work more on explosive stuff. And I haven't. I've just been working out like an average person, bodybuilder-esque would. So I haven't done anything explosive in 6 months. I haven't cleaned, I haven't jumped, I haven't sprinted, haven't done any of that. Just squatted. Did some hamstring curls, RDLs, stuff like that. So we're gonna hit another jump here and we're gonna get back to it. Hey! Right at 10 foot, baby, 2-inch improvement. Let's see if we can go farther. And 9.9. Okay, so we hit a PR of 10. So that's somewhat of a win in my book. All right, we got set up. We're gonna just do one kind of jog through, test it out, see what it's looking like. Huh. Oh. I guess it's because you got to turn it off. These on right here. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. All right. So it works good. Let's walk down and we'll run one. Get awkwardly set up since you don't have an in-beam to start with these. I'd recommend though offsetting them. It didn't trigger. Weird. We're gonna take a rest and we're gonna come back and see what the problem is. So, just ran this 40. My best ever that I've actually run on a real timing system, not a hand time. I'm talking fully automatic. As soon as that hand, boop, just comes up enough for them lasers to touch, which is almost instantaneous, was a 4.6, right? That's when I was working at TCU. So I was working 12 hours a day, whatever. It was after about 4 weeks of good training with a decent base. I just got done playing college football, internship there. But I ran a 5 flat. A 5 flat. And if that don't tell you how important it is to train, yes, sprinting can have a natural ability to it. But for the most people, actually for majority of athletes, I'd say 99.9% of athletes, this sprinting is it's highly central nervous system driven. So if you don't do it, your body's gonna discard of it. I don't need it. It's not useful, and that shows you, right? But I didn't do any running of any kind. I didn't jog. I didn't do nothing. I just lifted weights. Didn't do anything explosive. So 5.0, and it's almost 0.4 second or more difference. So that's really big. So now I'm getting back into this training. We're gonna see if we can drop it down. We're gonna go for a run number 2, and we're gonna see if we can drop it some more. I was hoping I'd hit like 4.85. Right, I was thinking, oh man, I ain't ran in a while. I ain't ran in 6 months, even jogged more or less. I'll probably hit like 4.85, 4.9, about 0.15 to 0.1 over what I thought. So we're gonna go down there and we're gonna run number 2. Out of breath. Okay, 5:01. Dang near the same time. Didn't improve. Got worse. That's whatever. Time doesn't matter. Improving does. When you haven't trained in a while, it's gonna happen. So this is basically what I call off the couch to sprinting. So bad time. Absolutely, it's a bad time. Very bad time. Right? But considering I haven't done jack anything, I'm okay with it. I mean, nothing explosive. So we're gonna set up on the track, put spikes on, and see if it's getting a difference to it. So let's get after that. All right, got it measured out. Got the track spikes on. So we're gonna run it. First thing we're gonna do though, just gonna make sure it's testing good. Jog down there, jog back. Make sure it's tested. All the good stuff, right? So my predictions for this is, because it is track surface, because I have spikes which have superior traction, especially paired with track surface, and track spikes have a harder base plate, I'm going to predict that it's going to be faster. Now, I don't know. I have no sprint capacity, so the 4 to 6 10s that I did on here compared to the 4, or the actually technically 3 because one of them messed up, on the grass, I might actually have the same time because my body is not used to it. But we're gonna test that out and see what we got working here. So I'm gonna go down there, I'm gonna get ready. Let's get after it. Okay, I triggered it early. It says 9 seconds. So we're gonna take a rest and we're gonna try to redo that. All right, attempt number 1, trying to get this correct. We'll rewatch the video, and when I put my hand back down, I triggered the laser. So we're gonna go down there, we're gonna try to get it right. Four, 9, 0. I tell you, I feel blown up. My legs are kind of that numbness feeling that if you train a lot of sprinting and power, boys, they're not heavy, they're just like, well, my central nervous system's like, all right, we give up, we tap out. Before 9, a whole 10th faster on this newly surfaced, I'm pretty sure it's not even regulation thickness for a high school, but we're gonna take a rest and we're gonna run one again and see if we can drop it down even farther. I want to get a little faster. I want to go home with at least a 4.8 today. So, it'll be the last one. Stay tuned. And y'all, my body is shot. I can feel it. It doesn't want to do anymore. So, truth be told, I don't know how much faster it's going to be. Hopefully, it gets faster. I want to leave with even a faster time. So that I can show you, and there's a 10th difference. Of course, the grass isn't very good, and it's slightly soft. I mean, it's wintertime, so it rains here a lot. It's just now turning into spring too, so but it wasn't overly soft. Well, it wasn't super soft, but that's the difference in track surface and in a natural grass or even a turf. So far is a 10th difference. So let's go down there, let's get to it. Let's try to beat 4.9 flat. Missed the timer. So I keep triggering this incorrectly. So what I might do is have to do the offset at the front and the back half for 40 yards. Is it what I want to do? No. But testing this system out, this might be something that I only use for speed gate testing, or just use it how I have it until I have the money to buy a system that can do in-beam testing. Might even cross compare this and a in-beam test, something like a dasher. You know, might set it up, train for a little while on this one, and then when I test again, go ahead, set this up the exact same way that I've been training on it or tested on it, and then set up something like a dasher or whatever and test it against the dasher. But let's go down there and let's try not to trigger it. That's been hard. And see what it's gonna do. Because even though I might be testing it, trying to get the most accurate way, I'm probably gonna offset it in training just so I can get consistent numbers and then just retest it the way that I tested it originally, with the dasher, of course. So let's go down there and let's hopefully get a faster time and not trigger it early. .497. Like I thought, I'm just too shot. Body is not conditioned to do this. So I'm just too tired, too wore out. As you can tell, like, I'm sounding just from running a 40, and I had about 4 minutes of rest in between each 40. I'm just not in shape to run it. Kind of feel like I just got off the couch and haven't been doing anything, which basically, in terms of speed work, that's what I've been doing. All right. My hip flexors are hurting. Like, they're so shot, I don't think they can go anymore. I felt them on that run. So we're gonna call it quits. Times are what the times are, right? Is it what I want? Absolutely not. Is it far off from what I'm used to run? Absolutely, right? But all in all, if I come out here and train over 12 weeks and cut it down significantly, I'll be happy, and then I can work my way back up. But I think my biggest problem is just CNS. My body's not used to innovating this much. It's not used to this. So, because I had the strength in the squat, and I haven't been doing anything powerful, so this is what I'm lacking.